The Hausa and Yoruba relations in Lagos reflect a long history of interethnic interactions that have shaped the city's social and economic fabric. As Lagos developed into a major urban and commercial hub, the Hausa community played key roles in trade, transport, and religion, while the Yoruba remained the indigenous population of the area. This documentary seeks to uncover how both groups have lived together, exchanged cultures, and built a sense of unity amidst diversity. The migration of Hausas to Lagos did not happen at once. It was a gradual historical process shaped by trade, colonial rule, religion, and economic opportunity. To begin with, pre-colonial trade links was one of the reasons for the migration of Hausas to Lagos. Long before Lagos became a modern city, Hausa traders were already traveling southward through well-established trade routes. The Hausa were major players in long-distance trade, dealing in kola nuts, grains, livestock, and many others. Lagos, being a coastal trading center, attracted these traders. Some Hausa traders settled temporarily while others began to establish permanent communities. This laid the false foundation for Hausa presence in Lagos. Another significant reason, which is the British colonial and indirect administration, as at the late 19th to early 20th century. The British trusted the Hausas and they were used as constabularies for the colonial masters. Also, they were trained mainly for warfare. Many Hausa men were recruited into the colonial army and police stationed in Lagos for security duties. After service, many chose to remain in Lagos rather than return to their hometown. This explains why early Hausa settlements often formed near military or administrative zones. In addition, religious and cultural factors. Islam played a role in settlement pattern. The life of an Hausa man is bound to fate. More importantly, Hausas did not displace indigenous Yoruba communities. They settled with the permission of local Bales and Obas.
Musa Shu'aibu Sarki. I am the Assistant General Secretary of this palace and the custodian of the history of the palace. So this palace, the palace of the Sirkin Hausawa of Agege, is established in 1861, though it has been existing way back. It has been existing way back. But while we pegged our dates in 1861, it was the year the colonial master came into the community and picked about 200 of the houses and were made the colonial master constabulary soldiers. And as time goes on, they were what you know today as Nigerian police. So that first set was started here. So to make history and ensure we are exact, so that is why we pegged our existence from 1863. Before 1863, most of our forebears, our forefathers, were slave traders, and they used to become a slave trade merchant. And most of them were customers to Oba Kosoko of Lagos. Oba Kosoko of Lagos was known to our forebearers as Kosoko Iko. That is the Kosoko of Iko. So Iko in Hausa language is Iko. So, but before then, before the abolishment of the slave trade in between 1861 and 1863, most of our forebearers engaged in different type of business. But notably, the slave trade is what brings, what brings more, at least what generates at least more money there. Apart from then, they had other trade. Some people are trading in commodities, like the precious stones. Some people are trading in uh, farm produce, like cola nuts, and then many more of them. Then some people were trading in animal, rearing. Some people sell horses. Some people bring cows from downtown to Lagos. So at that time, the slave trading, it is not just like what you do now. When you bring your commodities, you just go to the market and sell. No, no, no. What you do now when you come, you station in a certain area. It is the real market. Like Oba Kosoko, he has his, people, the trade assistants that will come in, take whatever they want to him. He sell to the Portuguese and bring the remaining, the one that was not sold and the money. So you are not allowed to go in there. So as at that time, where they are, which is Victoria Island now, that is the island.
Yes, sir.
Where all those trade is being transacted.
Yes, sir.
So the Portuguese has most of their stations there, their ships, and where they live, and any other areas. While they deal with the Obakosoko, and the Obakosoko deal with the other people. So when they finish, then they traverse along the sub-Saharan from Freetown, where it's known today as Syria known, to Gold Coast, where it's known as Ghana now. Then from there, we have Dahomey, where it's known as Benin Republic, down to Upper Volta, where it's known as Burkina Faso now, to the other, sub-Saharan, to buy and sell. They go there, in search of, precious stones, while people that goes to Ghana and other area like Guinea and other things, those ones deals with the cola commodities. Those who goes to Syria alone deal with like gold, like diamond, and all that kind of commodities. So that is how it is being done. So along the line, it happens. Oba Kosoko already earlier has a problem with his brother, who is Oba Akintoye. So Oba Akintoye, now connive with the British people to abolish the slave trade. So Oba Kosoko is a merchant. So most of the slaves that come from everywhere are telling to him, when you come to Lagos, though there are other areas where slave trade, is transacted, like Travelers, where it's known as Libya today, like the Niger, and then some other, northern part of the Africa. So as at the time when the issue of abolition of slave trade came, so there is a lot of problem. People have already come from downtown with their slaves, but now you come with your goods, and good is no more accepted because of the fight. Because before the success of the abolition of the slave trade, there is a fierce battle between Oba Kosoko and the British. Not until when they overpower him and he ran to Epe, where he seek for an exile, and they now made Oba Akintoye as the new Oba of Lagos, and is working with them to ensure slave trade is no more. So as at that time, our people have most of their slaves here. But since slaves are no more accepted, what do? You stay month after month, year after years. So dimensionally, the slaves now become free slaves. So those slaves and the other merchants were the nucleus of what is known as Agege today. So, so after the abolition of the slave trade, the merchants have no anything to do, than to divert into another maybe business. Some of the merchants went down to north, while some continue here, while some traverse the other area and they metamorphose into another business. So that's what stationed the Hausa people here. As at that time, our forebearers knows here as Zongo, while the downtown where the colonial masters are, they name it Hintala.
So what does Zongo mean and Intala?
Zongo mean a stopover town. A stopover town. That is why wherever you go in the Yoruba land, wherever you see Zongo, you see that it is a town for Hausa people. That is where a new town, where people come, stays, continue their journey. But in Zongo, you will still see other people that made the place, a house, a home, a town among the people. So that is why every town you normally see when you go to uh, Abeokuta, you see Zango. But what people normally know, is Sabon Zango. That is new place, Sabon Zango. So along the line, the Zango go away, and the Yoruba people now hold the Sabo. So that is why you see Sabo Ibadan, you see Sabo Abeokuta, you see Sabo at uh, Ogbomoso, everywhere. It is only in maybe most of the old towns that you now see Zango. But normally it is Sabo Zango that is new step over new town. So
Okay.
that's how it's. So as I was saying, when they came in here, they now come to Agege and pick mainly houses. That was the time of uh, the time of General Guluba, who happens to be something global. So that's why they were called global soldiers. So the colonial master, the general head of the colonial master then, it is someone some somehow Glover. It's John Glover. Yes. So but because of the intonation, so the Hausa and the Yoruba people call him Goloba. So they can pronounce Goloba. So he was one that came here and picked 200 of our people and made them colonial constabulary soldiers. And he trained them in defense, not in attack logically, because he fears of the unknown. So that's why when he picked the people, he only trained them uh, how to defend. So they are the soldiers they use in ensuring they control the war within the town, so that they will have their revenue generation to call it. But along the line, just like I tell you, most of our people that traverse the sub-Saharan, they go up to Ghana, up to everywhere to do their trade. But because of the abolition of the slave trade, you find it very difficult to traverse through Lagos because of the station of the colonial masters. So before you came in, a lot of nomenclatures will happen. So people were always fear to come in. So they now prefer to go through Mali and other area. But those other ones that have their paper that always reverse here, they are the one that now metamorphose into cola business. They go to Ghana, an area in Ghana known as Gonja. Gonja. So they buy the cola from there, they come here, sell to our people. Though before then, our Yoruba people have their own species of cola, which is known as Obi Abata.
Obi.
That is the traditional cola of the Yoruba people. Obi Abata. You see it, it is small, but it has about 3, 4, unlike the normal Obi Gonja that has two, this thing when you,
Sir, is it the Hausa song that is called Obi Gunja?
yes,
Okay, sir.
Obi Gonja. That is a Gonja is a town where that Obi, is being found
Okay, sir.
in Ghana. But we still have our Obi here that is called Obi Abata.
Okay.
Those Obi are brought from uh, Egbaland, Ogun State, other areas. Those are the Obi our grannies then used to sell. But you see them, they are very small, but they have like 4 to 5, pieces in one. Unlike the Obi Gonja that is brought from, Ghana, that is two. So what really happened along the line, when the nomenclature is too much, and then most of our people that deals with the cola business are our former slave merchants. So since there's no slave trading, they go there, buy, come here. So when they see that the business, is booming, then they now, stay and do that business. So along the line, they now discover that Gonja weather and the area is similar to that of here, Lagos, this part of land. But before then, this is area where our people station, where it is known as Hintala. But before then, we have where it is called Orile Awori. That is the old town, where you know as Orile Agege now. Orile Agege is the old town, where it is known as Orile Awori.
Awori.
It was after Agege got its name as Agege, they now made that place Orile Agege. But it is then called Orile Awori because that is the Awori town. And the Awori town are the host to the houses as at that time. But they have different tradition and different day-to-day issue. So what they do is they leave the houses here while they were there. You understand me, in the old town. But most of them, between the Hausa land and the Awori land, they have their farm lands along the places where they farm the normal cash crop commodity, where the Awori are very good in farming yam, cassava, and other leaves, other like the vegetables and other things. That is what they engaged in. So, but when our people discover that the weather there and the weather there are almost the same thing, it seems maybe if they farm Obigonja here, it might work. And they tried it and it worked. When it works, they now sold the idea to our Awori, host. And the Awori host started and they see that it is booming. It is booming. They now, accept the business. So when they accept the business, so some of them leave their cash crop farming, they venture into the kola nut farming, and when they venture into the kola nut farming, and the kola nut farming is bringing more money, so they now clear most of their farms and now started doing this thing. So as at that time, if they want to maybe clear their farmland for that Obigonja business, they engage our people to come and do the bush clearing for them and prepare their farm for the plantation of the Obigonja. So most of them, when they want to do that, they engage our people. When they engage our people, along the line, the business flourish. So between the borderline with this Hausa land and the Awila, it now become kola nut, farms. So everybody like venture into kola farm and they, take it out. So as at that time, whoever want to do that business, he now name our people, Agegi. That is the three quarters. That is our people. When if you engage them in the, clearing of the bush, then they now call them, our Agegi. So as time goes on, they now name these people Ilu and Agegi. That is the town of the three quarters. So they now name it. So along the line, the Hintala now go away and they made our people known as Awon Ageji. So along the line, it was from Awon Ageji that it now metamorphosed into Ageji. Ilu Awon Ageji. From there, Ilu went away. And now Awon Ageji before is Ageji. So that's how Ageji got its name, from Ageji to Ageji. So and up to today, the name of the town now become Ageji. So along the line, that Ageji is what the Orile Awori people now use to further name their area where it is not an Orile Awori to Orile Agege. So that is a town between Agege and the Alemosho local government. You know Orile Agege?
No, sir.
That is it is LCD. It is carved from Agege. That is the oldest town. Those people have been there before the coming of our people. So we happen to be their host. They have their over there Alage of Orile Agege. I think they have been there for more before, before the Yorubas started their Oba in Agege here. They have been having their ballet. So this is how Agege, was formed.
Okay, sir.
So along the line, when you live in a town, definitely if you see about a century now, still if you come to Agege, you will agree with me that Agege, part of Agege has become Hausa town.
Yes,
because up till today, our tradition is there, our everything is there. So this is, where we have a kind of, cosmopolitan area.
Social
mix.
coexistence.
Yeah, mix with Hausa and Yoruba. Now, if I call a Yoruba for you here now, you start speaking Hausa, it's not Yoruba. If I tell you this is a Yoruba, you say, this one it's not Hausa. Because a Yoruba man here in Agege speak Hausa fluently more than even a Hausa man. So also Yoruba, a Hausa man here speaks more Yoruba. All these our Alajis you see, these are our elders. If they start speaking Yoruba, all of you will run away because so the doing here, it has interwoven but still that and that we ensure we held onto our tradition and ensure our children. If you see most of our children, there are some of our children that don't even go to, they have never traveled to North. They live off their life here. But if you see them, you see that tradition, that custom, and everything in them, because we ensure we held onto that. And for you to know, House Agege here happens to be the most peaceful local government in the entire Nigeria
Yes, sir.
for more than 10 years. Though we've had a little, tribal and ethnic clash, but each and every ethnic clash that started that happened here doesn't last 2 hours, and none of it started from here. It is being brought from somewhere, maybe the OPC issue, other issue, but between Hausa and Yoruba, there's never a clash in Agege because
Are those fights that are brought into Agege as simple as how do you guys solve it?
uh just like what I tell you, our forebearers and our leaders, there is a cordial relationship. You understand? There is a cordial relationship among our leaders, among our forebearers. A very cordial one, like a family this thing. Like, let me tell you, the Sergi here, every Tuesday and Thursday, he happens to be at the palace of Olo of Agege, who happens to be the paramount ruler of the entire town. You understand? But Sergi, as the leader of Sergi Hausa, is always there to spearhead or see what is happening, apart from he being with his people. So 2 times a week, I don't think 2 times a week there is anything that can escape him if it will happen around that area, or if there's anything they want to pass, like if they want to do the oro, the egu, and all these Yoruba traditional activities, it is in the palace that the Sergi Hausawa will hear and pass the information to his people. And while I be first this is so by the so things, they will tell them the do's and the don'ts. You understand? So if there is no way something will happen, that within a minute there will never be a kind of distant communication between the Olof Agege and the Sergi Agege. There's no way. Yeah. When it happens, when we came out, we saw new faces. We know ourselves. There's no way if you come here today, I see you tomorrow, I'll know you're a stranger. People around will know you're a stranger. And we'll begin to start inquiring where you come from.
Information is not.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
But normally what they do is when you come in, they will tell you about Baba, one of my children came from Oshu or from anywhere, so that people will know that. Because if they see you, they know you're a stranger. You understand? All eyes will be on you. So that is how it is everywhere. That is why up to today, it is in this palace. If you are a chieftain in this palace, one of the important things is your phone must be on at every time. None of our chief has his phone off, during the working day. So that is why it is even a rule
In Agege, yes, sir.
in the palace here, yes, in the palace here, that if you are called twice during the night, because you can be called at any time if there's any problem. We don't fear. It is our town, so at any time we can come out. Yes, so that's how we live here.
So there's already cultural blending.
A blending, a kind of how will I even call you? How will I even call it? Because there's no way in Agege you will remove Hausa attitude and culture from the Hausa boy. Because most of them lives, work, live together. So that's how it is here. And if there's any problem, even at times, Sergi has his representative among the wards. Whatever you see that come here, it happens to be a big issue. Maybe it has gone beyond the capability of the ballet and the ward head there. You understand? But most of our problem, you see, it is a normal, community problem, and day to day problems. But apart from that, no. Our people are engaged when it comes to ethnic problem or ethnic differences or any other thing because of the experiences we are having, the peaceful. Because you know, despite the fact that we believe there is God intervention, you understand, but our doing and experience is part of what gave us the peace we enjoy in Agege. We don't have any ethnic problem, any ethnic clash. No, no, no. You can never see.
Like, can you give a final message so people can change their narrative to a positive narrative about the outside community?
Uh, I think nothing changes. You understand me? Nothing changes. Just like you said that houses are known to be business oriented because we have a lot of rich people. Secondly, what Hausa is also known about that gives a lot of problem is our stand on our faith. Uh, Most of the Hausas you see, stand on their faith. That is the religion, the Islamic religion. That is one of those things people say it. And the Islamic religion, is being misunderstood. You understand? Ma? If you could see, all they have been preaching is not true, unless if one or two things happen. When you go to the north, the entire north, is not hostile. It's a very good host place to other people. I see a lot of people that have even gone back to, north and states because of our peace. But the only misunderstanding is people believe, you understand, ba,
Yes, sir.
when you have what we call norms and values, not only in the Hausa land, in everywhere, huh? In everywhere, you make sure your value eh, is not subjected to any bad or negative issue to it, because we believe that word means. Yes, understand me? In our own way of life, leadership, business, and any other aspect of a Hausa man, you understand, is being connected to his faith, to the religion. Hausa man left most of his culture and tradition to hold onto that religion. And that religion is the way of life of the Hausa man. No matter what a northern is doing, a Hausa northern man along all those, axes, eh, they do it according to the teaching of Islam. You get me, ma? So, and then the other people we believe that are the enemies of Muslims, of Islam, they are giving the Muslim bad name and other, orientation. But when you go, it is free. You see that it isn't that. It isn't that way. Yeah. When you go to the north, people, both Muslim, Christian, go about their own, business. That is why if you see a common houseman, respect Christianity even more than other people, because you know what it is. If I believe my faith has value, definitely other people's faith will also have value. So if I respect my religion, I would definitely respect other people's religion. So that is one of the narratives I want them to change and tell people that is not how we are. A Hausa man is very, very peaceful, is very friendly, you understand, and now we thank God we are highly, social, we are highly oriented, socio-economic and other aspects.
Yes, ma'am. As a market leader, how would you describe your relationship among the traders here in my talk?
Now we are in good relationship with the markets and the traders. So we work hand in hand, make sure the market moves. So the relationship is just like a family.
Okay, ma'am. When misunderstanding happens in the market, how are they usually resolved? Misunderstanding between Yoruba and Igbo, the Yoruba and Hausas, when they happen in my talk, how are they resolved?
We have different sections in myself. We have like three sections in myself market. The perishable section. This is the general section. This is the phase two of the market. And the other side is the yam section of the market. So we work hand in hand to make sure the peace and unity within the three sections.
So, you say that the relationship between the Hausa traders and the Yoruba traders is peaceful.
It's very peaceful.
Okay, ma, sorry, ma, what is the story behind my talk? Like, what is the story behind it? Okay, ma, so how has the relationship been between the Yoruba and the Hausa in terms of business, considering that most foodstuffs come from the north side?
Yes, the most food stuff come from the north. So they are the Hausas are in charge of the those perishable goods like tomatoes, like onions and pepper. They are in charge of the the perishable goods. So they are bringing it and they are the ones selling at the same time.
Okay, ma, has there ever been any issue of a Yoruba man trying to cheat an Hausa man in my talk?
We have a lot of issues within the Yoruba, but there's a way we sort those issues out. But they have their own chairman, and the other section towards their chairman. So we 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 have been together, so we always settle it amicably.
Ma, has language ever been like Yoruba are speaking Yoruba, Hausa are speaking Hausa, like during a conflict? Has it like ever escalated a conflict between both sides before? Like language barrier?
Not really, because most Hausas they understand you. Most of them understand Yoruba. Most Yorubas, so there is a way they communicate.
Okay, in Afghanistan, I'm the state chairman. I reside within this community for the past 63 years. And the existence of this community has been of stages, about 100 years now. At Ijaba or Sigaba. Although Ijaba then, when it is the Yoruba that settled at Ijaba, because Ijaba is a Yoruba, land. Then out of that time, we are under the Western region. But this place is under the Western region. But the first Hausa settlement here, when the first of come is the Arunos. You understand me? According to history, for what my father told me then. And where they settled was initially at where Lut is now. Because all those places were community before the emergency of Lagos State, before the emergency of University of Lagos come on. So then, and along the line, that here we have the Bale and we have the Serikis. Out of that time, the first Bale we have in Sami. Later Seriki came on board. But then the outside we have were just few because they came here as farmers. That's what they came here to do. But to God be the glory for the relationships between our fathers and they themselves. There has always been a further relationship in there. I was just like in mentioned and things that you cannot even know who is also who is Yoruba. But like now, the non-Indigenous, that's the Sabar ones who are the Niger. But most of them call themselves that they come from the KB state. They were almost the one that they outnumbered the real Nigerian Hausa that were here. And the Yoruba that were here were now few. But most of the buildings, due to renovation and other things, some have been sold out, some like when they came, so it was like development. You know, when development comes on board, so many things will take place. You have change of environment and some other things. So that will really happen to some of us. But like some of us, we have decided that no, everybody will not go away. You understand me? And we should be to see to the community appears. So that is just part of what I said presently.
So, sir, when you came to Idiaraba, was the name really Idiaraba or they just gave it to Idiaraba?
Actually, when you know, it has no name, all community have no name. But it was later in the day, because over here, very close to the bus stop, there is a big tree. You understand me? So it is under that tree that it is named Idi. You understand me? Very big tree, a mighty tree, you understand me? That everybody, when they all come at the end of the day, everybody settle down there, take leave, you understand me? After all the struggle and all that thing, they all settle down there, have a fresh meal. So that was when look at it that so it's better. Because here, there was nobody that come over here, understand me, to establish this place. You understand me? But when they all come, they all look at it that okay, let the name be Ikiara. So it's not that a name after someone. It is after the mighty tree because here it's more or less like a forest. There you have so many trees that surround everywhere here before they named the Ikiara.
So the name Nigeria,
Yeah.
does it have the English?
Actually, it has no English name. You understand? Because you know, except if you just want to give it English name. You understand me? The G is bottom. Araba is a tree, a big tree. You understand me? So that is a typical Yoruba name. That the G and Araba. You understand me? The bottom of a wide tree. So it's not that it has an English name.
You don't want to have
Yes, sir, so we heard that there was a big fight that happened in India.
Yes. Of course, then that was 2002. 2002. So that time, what really happened is that because we all been together, both the Yoruba and the Hausa, and I'm talking with you presently now, son, most of us, the language, when you see the Hausa, if they start speaking Yoruba, if you are told, your family, you won't believe it. Because you are up on and brought up here. The Hausas in your family comes to at least, the Hausas have spent almost 60 years, 60, 70 years in Nigeria. So the children they born here in your family. So then, because of the mixture between the Hausa and the Yoruba, so as of that time, what really happened was pieces. Your family. So, you know, so the pieces now escalated. That why we go over there and put it there in my land, and we are all of them. Where they gathered together. So because both of them were all hillbills together, but they know themselves. So that was why the crisis just come up like, you know, some just like a playing stop. And the playing stop now metamorphose. That you understand that the community collapsed. After that time for almost 6 months, the community was in a big disaster.
I also heard that they do observe carnival. Just like tradition, they do observe. So how do they become carnival people? Is it celebrated like both the outside and the back?
Yes, there is no activities, social activities that take place in this community that all the tribes, you understand me, are not part of it. Because like I've said here now, you understand me, over here, except if they start speaking Hausa, that's when you know that this is Hausa or this is Yoruba, you understand me. So when in a occasion, both Hausa and Yoruba, they decided to speak Hausa, you won't know if you have Yoruba among them. And in another occasion, if they decide to speak Yoruba, you won't know this and Hausa. Just the other way, the other area you will be able to tout is the addressing outfit. But in absence to that, like the Salah per se, the Salah, everybody, you won't even know this is that, you understand me? They share everything together, do everything together. Carnival per se, understand me, festivities, they do it together. If Hausa is doing party, you understand, we this together, but you will be surprised that Wasu and other thing is what they will play. Hardly for them to play their cultural music. So just for you to know that they've been embedded into the system.
The relationship between Hausa and Yoruba communities in Lagos is neither accidental nor recent. It is the result of history, migration, and years of daily interaction shaped by trade, leadership, and mutual respect. From market areas like Mile 12 to traditional institutions in places such as Agege, and also in Diaraba where cultural dynamics is expressed, cooperation has remained central to coexistence. As Lagos continues to grow and diversify, the lived experiences of these communities remind us that peaceful relations are built not only on shared spaces but on shared understanding.